Hey guys, welcome back to Crazy Gear Games and Modeling. I'm just giving you another update on my Bergepanther. I hope I'm saying that right. I really do. Let me just show you the book here. It's from Takom. It's a kit from Takom. It's the Ausf D, version D, or that's 4. Yeah, it's on a Panzer 5 chassis, Panther. It's on a Panzer 5 Panther chassis. It's a German recovery vehicle. And as you can see, we'll take a look at what I've got so far. I was able to paint the wheels and get them on and paint the undercarriage. This is a German green-brown, which more looks like a, I don't know, yellowish color, but it's going to be my base color. I'm going to do the whole, still doing the red oxide in the middle there, the German green-brown, or red-brown. This is the green-brown on the outside. But I got the wheels on there. It's sitting flat. I was looking at some books. I got some books from Ammo of MiG of their Panther and King Tiger. They make a book series, a visual modeler's guide of. They got a King Tiger and a Panther. I received those yesterday. And I was looking through them, and basically the inside of these things are scratched, nicked up, grease, all kinds of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start weathering the inside of this. You could probably see, if I zoom in here, some of the scratches I already have on the inside here. You can see the scratches. If I can get it in there. So you can see the scratches and whatnot inside there. I'm going to leave those there, and I'm going to put a brown wash on them. I use the Citadel washes, the Agrax Earth Shade right here. That's what I plan on using, just to dirty up the inside. If you take a look at my engine that I had built previously, I skipped ahead and built this. I have weathered that. I did a cream color, and then I did that Agrax Earth Shade on it to make it look dirty. I did this engine in a Vallejo German gray surface primer. I'm going to pick out the exhaust with some rust, touch a couple little lines up that I saw on the engine that are supposed to be red oxide primer. Of course, that's going to hop in the back there like that. Oops. Zoom back out. It's going to hop in the back there like that. So, next thing I'm doing, I'm working on these little bitty chairs here. And they have these little bitty latches on the side. And I'll tell you, they were testing my patience last night. I have noticed these are very good kits, these Takom kits. I really enjoy these. And they're nice kits. This is the only main model kit I've tried other than Tamiya. I've only done one of theirs, and I didn't really care for it. The lack of detail, and it only took me a day to build it. I like a project to stretch out, I like to spend time doing things. I've been working on this for about 2 weeks now. So, and I got some other projects. I don't know if any of you interested in me doing a build along. I have a King Tiger and another Panther to do. If y'all want to do a build along where the videos will be longer, and I build each section and tell you how I did it, and how I skipped ahead for painting purposes. I wish I would have waited and painted this when I painted the inside. I'm gonna have to paint it with a brush. It says it's red oxide, the same as the inside, but I'm gonna paint it with the Tamiya Hall Red to give it a little tonal difference. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to do some of this Agrax Earth Shade right now on the inside of this to show you what I'm talking about. And I'm going to use a shade brush from Citadel here. They just have their medium shade brush from Games Workshop. Pot right there, and then I'm just going to come in here, and I'm just going to weather this down like this. Weather this all in here like this. Move that wash around, let it get in the crevices. Let it get on the nicks. All along those pistons in there. I mean, I know it's not oil washes or Tamiya's panel line washes, but it'll do the job, I think. You know, and it's what I have. I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of Tamiya stuff. I mean, I have a couple things that I have, but you can see there, it's already looks a little more grimy. It's got a little gloss to it right now. But, you know, that'll settle in there and it'll look grimier. And also, we can come up here on one of these wheels right here, and we can go around the wheel like this, just on the inside. Pick out all that detail on the inside. You see that wheel already looks better. Take out the one behind it. Now, I had glued these wheels on not thinking about the steel I wanted to put on the rims, but turns out they're rubber rims anyways, so I'm just gonna do the wash on them. This is my test model for when I actually build a Panther. I got this. This was sent to me because they wanted me to do some Panthers for their, you know, demonstrate how to build these different Panthers and King Tigers and stuff. So I just got this one as a test bed because the lower chassis is about the same on them all. Not exactly the same. I don't want to get you know, called out for not knowing the slight differences between all the different Panthers, but you know, they have the same structure of like the interlaced road wheels. The engines are pretty similar. Engines might be exactly the same, but you know, things like that. So I'm just gonna put this wash in there. Along there. And I have wondered, Citadel or Games Workshop has come out with contrast paints, and I had wondered what those contrast paints would look like. A little bit around there. Inside, on some of these models with this paint for like, you know, different things like that. But as you can see, with the tracks not on, I'm able to do this. And then what you can do is you can also use this. You could brush on some weathering powder and use this this wash to kind of set the weathering powder. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull down on all the wheels so it looks like it was sitting and it streaked a little bit. So before I went around in a circle, now I'm just pulling down so it gives it kind of a streaky effect. You know, I don't know if this is going to look good. I'm not a professional here. I'm just, you know, sharing my experience on this. But there you go. See, you got that all shaded like that, and that's what it looks like unshaded. So, you know, basically, nice little contrast. You know, I could even come in here like this and pick out all these bolt details right in here. Pick out all these details. Come around in there and get that dirty. And you know, with this stuff, it's water based. You know, it's not gonna muck up your model too much. You know, I kind of like the grime look on it. You know, the way it darkens it down a little bit. Just get around that with a little thicker. Kind of just put a thin coat of this grime on here. I also have some stuff called typhus corrosion that I'm going to put on this, just to see what kind of effects I can get with the Citadel line of paints on a model. But as you can see, there's the underside of it. You know, it's got, you know, these wheels back here, these arms, because they get seen from underneath. We'll do the same thing, streak it up a little bit, because it's going to be facing down. And there we go. I'll make sure I keep moving it around so I don't get any coffee staining. And then, you know, and then I can touch it up with the base color. You know, touch it up with a base color to get a better, proper shade on there. But that's basically, you know, it shaded up, unshaded. So if I can show you the unshaded in the light back here, and then back to the shaded in the. But and then I don't know if you can see, it's very subtle on the inside of this. I want to see if I can't zoom in on that here so you can see the back end here. See, it's a little bit of dirt and grime on that back 3 torsion bars. You can see it puddling up a little bit on the bottom, as it's a little bit different than what's up there. It's hard to see, but it's subtle, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. You know, it's subtle. I can put some grime and dirt in there with some weathering powder at another time, but that's what I'm basically going to do. And then here's a, see if we can get this closer look up of this right here, of the shade. See how the shade is on there. See, and that'll dry out. It'll be a little bit of coffee staining, but I'll be able to fix that up. Come in there with my brush right now, a little bit wet, and I'll be able to just clean that up, go up and down so it looks like it's streaking. That's what's nice about the shade. If you wait a minute, you can clean it up with a little bit of water and keep the effect by your you know, in the dark parts there. See, then I clean that up right there. It looks a lot better. And then that's the undone side. All right, so that's that. So zoom out there. So I'm going to put him upside down there. I know I'm missing a couple paint spots there. That's where I had tape masking off the inside. But I'll get that touched up, don't you worry. Let's see. So next is we're building the seats here. Like I said, I have the 2. Got to make 2 seats. I'm building that. I got to get the G sprue out. And it looks like I'm putting the mount, building the radio, and then putting that into the radio side. This is what it looks like magnified, all sitting in there with the radio operator and the driver's console. Then it looks like we're building some hatchet or some bulkheads. I'm going to paint those bulkheads separately. Also, I'm gonna paint the chair in assembly. I'm going to paint the metal plate, paint everything red oxide. Then I'm going to go over the chair in black or steel color, and then puts black on the seat because I didn't notice the seats were black. And then we're going to move on to the engine panels, or the engine compartment. I believe it has 2 watertight compartments on either side of the engine, and then it has us doing the tracks. I might keep the tracks until the end, or I might do them in the next video. I'm not sure, but I am going to show you how I do the tracks, It will be my first time doing tracks like this. And then after that, you can see it moved on to the engine, which I have already done. When I did this, I started out building the base per the instructions, and then it very quickly has you start building the transmission. But I skipped all this. I should have skipped all this. I didn't do it, but I should have skipped. I should have built the transmission perfectly and made sure it fit, because I had fit issues with the transmission. It didn't line up on any of the holes. So my suggestion to you is build all these pieces here. Build this, let it sit, and then try to fit the transmission, but don't glue it down. Just try to go ahead and put this L11, I'm sorry. So you're gonna build the transmission in pieces, but don't put it together yet. You're gonna do step 1 and 2. You're gonna come over here on step 4. You're gonna do L11. Let that dry. Make sure that's in position. Let it dry. And then you're gonna come over here and you're gonna do this step right here, where you're gluing the whole transmission in together. And while the glue is still tacky, use some extra thin, but glue the pieces together correctly, and so they're still a little tacky. And then dry fit it into the bottom of the hull on page 4, on step 4, and make sure it's a good fit here, and make sure your bars are rotated all the way correctly, because in the transmission, in this section of the transmission right here, where these bars, this D and this G go on, there's play in the way it turns. So it can turn slightly either way. So if you put this together and the glue's still tacky, you can test fit it and let it kind of dry in position, but not glued down, so it holds the right position. If you take a look at my model here, it's hard to see now. It's going to be really hard to see unless I zoom in. I'll try this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it doesn't look like you are. Yeah, I'm working on some lights, guys. I'm trying to get some lighting, better lighting. I'm trying different camera angles to get better lighting. But anyways, I have a space between the transmission and this front plate right here. And it gave me a lot of fit issues. It gave me fit issues with this bar. It didn't line up. It gave me fit issues with the side pieces not lining up with the transmission. The transmission actually needed to slide up a little bit, and this needed to slide back a little bit. So, but my problem was I built it in sessions, and I just glued it all together, and then I let it dry overnight, and then I did this step, and then this step, and then I ended up just gluing it in, not pre-painting it, which I definitely should have pre-painted it. And it gave me a lot of issues. It also gave me issues putting in the torsion bars. So that other than painting issues, doing the transmission that way, where you build the pieces of the transmission, but don't put them together, and then build it and then place it on here with this L11, and make sure everything lines up and it dries where everything lines up, and it'll make everything go together a lot better. So, because this is a long step. 3 and 4 are long steps, because you have to trim a lot of pieces off of the 2 side hull pieces, sand them, and then there's a lot of pieces that got to be cleaned up. I take my pieces off one at a time and clean them so I don't get confused and mixed up. But that's definitely a recommendation on the transmission. And definitely paint it before you put it in, because it's much easier to paint underneath of it and things like that. And then also when you put the transmission in, there's 2 torsion bars that are go underneath the transmission. Make sure they slide in freely with the transmission in place, because when I was trying to put the 2 ends on with the torsion bars, I scraped up a lot of my paint because I couldn't get the torsion bars in because of the offset of the transmission not sitting correctly. So that's the most important tip I can give you right now is just follow those steps with the transmission. Build all the pieces, get it to with the L11 in, and then put the transmission together and put it in the model and have it dry to the model but not glued to the model, if you understand me, just so it fits correctly, because there's play in it. There's play in the model. And when I do the build along, the next one it'll be a Panther, and it'll have the same transmission, and I will show you that in a video. I'll build it live in a video, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, and it'll make your life much easier, much easier. So that's gonna do it for this video. I don't have much else on this. So if you're interested in participating in a build along, let me know in the comments. I have a couple different kits to choose from. I am going to be doing a build along with another YouTube channel. I don't know if he wants me to mention his name, so I won't. I'll email him and see if that's okay. But it's going to be an Airfix airplane. He's sending me a kit, so we're going to do a build along. He's doing it on YouTube, and then I'm going to do a supplement on my channel. Just, how I'm getting along, because I've never built an airplane before, and it sounds like fun. Well, for Crazy Gamer Games and Models, have a great day.